Hello guys, how are you today? So today I'll be explaining the math AMS of term 2 week 5. So I'm not sure if we're allowed to use calculators or not, so I'm not going to be using calculators as to in both cases be fair. So the above function D models the distance in meters Jerry has to swim to reach the end line in a competition. After swimming for 30 seconds, about how many meters can Jerry swim each second? So looking at this function, okay, it is a derivative function. Well, we will learn why it's a derivative function, but first we will take it as a function. We will see that this is the initial point of the swimming pool, 0 meters, and this is the final point of the swimming pool, which is 50 meters. And if you notice, they added 50. That means Jerry is at the other end of the swimming pool. So that means he is swimming backwards. So they are telling us we need to find how many meters can Jerry swim each second. You can do it very simply by substituting 1. You are going to get minus 0.08 t plus 50. So minus 0.08 times 1 plus 50, you are going to get 49.92, which means Jerry would have moved over here now. Jerry, did he move 49.92 meters in 1 second? It's impossible for a human being to move that in 1 second. So instead, Jerry actually moved 50 minus 49.92 meters, which is then 0.08. So this is the first way to get our answer, which is 0.08. The second way is to find the derivative. Again, how do we find the derivative? If we have, for example, 1x to the power of 3, okay, we are going to multiply the 1 by the exponent, so 1 times 3x, and we are going to subtract the exponent by 1, okay? So we are going to get then 3x to the power of 2. Or another example, if we have 3x to the power of 4, it is going to be 4 times 3, which is 12, okay? And on the top, it's 4 minus 1, which is 3. This is how we find the derivative. Now, for whole numbers like this, the derivative is 0. That means for this one, it's going to be minus 0.08 t to the power of 1 plus 50, okay? In other terms, it's t to the power of 0, but I'm not going to go into that. We're just going to stick to minus 0.08 t to the power of 1 plus 50. Finding the derivative, it becomes minus 0.08, okay? Times 1, which is minus 0.08, then t to the power of 0, which is 1, plus 0. So then our answer is minus 0.08. But meters cannot be negative, so we have to put it in absolute value, and then we are going to get 0.08. And that is how we find the first one, or our first answer, which is 0.08. The second answer, or not the second answer, the second question. Alan lives in a town at an altitude of 500 feet above sea level. He drives from his home uphill a mountainous road to visit a friend. For each 3-mile drive uphill, the altitude increases by 50 feet. Building a function h that models Alan's altitude in feet relative to sea level after diving x miles from home. Very simply, we have a fixed altitude. So this is sea level. This is where Alan lives, which is a fixed altitude of 500 feet. Okay? Since it is the fixed altitude, we are going to put it as 500. Okay? It's going to be our constant. Now, he is driving for each 3 mile, 50 feet. That means for each 1 mile, he is driving 50 divided by 3 feet. Or, in other terms, if he is driving x miles, that means he is driving 50 divided by 3 multiplied by x. So, in other terms, his fixed location is over here. This is his house, okay? It is. Then he drives up to his friend's house, and let us say it is here. And they are saying for every 3 miles he is driving, so let's say this is 3 miles, that's it. He will also go up 50 feet. This is all they are saying, so it's going to continue like this until he reaches his friend's house. Okay? So, our fixed constant is 500 feet because it is where he lives. It's fixed. Then, we know he's driving x miles from his house, and we know for every 1 mile he is driving 50 feet by 3 miles, or 50 divided by 3 feet. So the altitude in feet that he is driving is 500 feet. We're talking relative to the sea level, is 500 feet plus 50 divided by 3. Now, question number 3. Here, this is very simple. To find the slope, it's always the number next to x if and only if we are talking about y as a single form. So I'm talking about 1 next to y. In this case, it's 1 next to fx. If you got 2y or 2fx, that would be incorrect. You would have to divide the whole equation by 2. So here, talking about the slope, it's the number next to the x. Now the x-intercept is when y is equal to 0. So the equation is y is equal to minus 2x plus 3. Substitute y by 0. 0 is equal to minus 2x plus 3. Move it to the other side. Minus 3 is equal to minus 2x. So then x is equal to 1.5. We have our x-intercept. Our y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So if x is equal to 0, that becomes minus 2 times 0 plus 3, which is then equal to 3. So our y-intercept is 3. Our answers are minus 2, 1.5, 0, 0, and not 2, but 3. Moving on to question number 4. The figure above shows the graph of a cubic function f. Which of the following could be the equation of this function where k is a constant? As we said, whenever we see a question like this, I remember in the exam, it was a function like this, and it was at this point, which was 4. If I'm not mistaken, or 3. It was either 4 or 3. But what we are going to do is you are going to choose x minus 4. So fx is equal to x minus 4 times x plus 9, or x squared plus 9. It was something like this, so then you would get the correct answer. So in this case, what we are going to do is we're going to look at our x-axis. We are going to take the point over here, at which it intersects the x-axis, which is minus 3. This is what we are going to be looking for as our root. So we found our root. Our root is equal to minus 3. Now the next thing is that since there isn't a saddle point over here, it has to be to the first power. Meaning, again, we were looking at the x-axis. We found the point intersecting the x-axis, which is our root, which is minus 3. And since there is no saddle point on minus 3, there's no saddle point on our root, that means it has to be raised to the first power. So in this case, we're not going to take this one because it's raised to the third power. That means it is a saddle point. It's contradicting one of our rules. The next one, we get x is equal to 3, and then x is the other one is impossible to find. So how did we find them? We do x minus 3 is equal to 0, and x squared plus 9 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 3, and x squared is equal to minus 9. This is impossible, which will leave us with x equal to 3. This is not what we are looking for. The next one is x minus 3 is equal to 0, and x squared minus 9. We get x equal to 3. X squared equal to 9, so x is equal to plus or minus 3. This again is not what we are looking for because we have only one root. Okay, for fx, it is the same thing. So x plus 3 equal to 0, x squared plus 9 equal to 0. We're going to get x is equal to minus 3, and x is not being able to found here. So we are going to choose this one as it contains the answer option that we need, which is the root being minus 3, and it is only one root, okay? And it is raised to the first power. Moving on to question number 5. Here they are asking us to write an equation in standard form to represent the function graphed above. So what we're going to do very simply is we are going to take the basic equation of any line, which is y is equal to mx plus b, okay? Or ax plus b, however you remember it. And we're going to take 2 points. I prefer to choose these 2 points because they are very accurate. So here it is 4, 0, and over here it is 0, 5. Okay, to find the value of m, we can very simply find the value of the slope. So the slope is equal to y minus y over x minus x. It doesn't matter which one you put first. If you choose to put this one first or this one first, it's gonna be the same answer. So for y minus y, it is 0 minus 5 divided by 4 minus 0, and we are gonna get minus 5 over 4. So the equation looks like this. Y is equal to minus 5 over 4 x plus b. Now, we cannot keep it as a fraction. Usually it's not preferred to keep it as a fraction. We need it to be a whole number. So to make it a whole number, what we are going to do is we're going to multiply the full equation by 4. So it becomes 4y is equal to minus 5x plus 4b. Then they moved the minus 5x to the other side and we got 5x plus 4y is equal to 4b. Now 4b, it is going to be our y-intercept. That is when x is equal to 0. So to find the value of our y-intercept, you can choose any point. So if I chose 0, 5, I'm gonna get 5 times 0 plus 4 times 5 is equal to 4b. And that gives us that 4b is equal to 20. We do not divide it. I just put 4b for the sake of the equation. So now our equation looks like this. 5x plus 4y is equal to 20. So to substitute, it is 5x plus 4y is equal to 20. Question number 6. A linear function f is defined such that fx decreases by 8, so minus 8 units divided for every 4 units increase divided by plus 4, and we're gonna get minus 2. Now this is our slope because they are talking in x. So a decrease 8 units for every 4 units increase in x. So that means minus 2. Here I only put 2 because they already provided us with the minus. Then they told us the graph of the fx in the xy plane has a y-intercept of 200. This is our fixed point, or our y-intercept when x is equal to 0. So definitely that means this number over here is 200, and very simply our answer is 200 minus 2x. Moving on to question number 7. I think last time I explained it a bit confusing, so I would like to explain it a bit better this time. So explaining it a bit better is gonna be like this. 65 minus 57. 5 minus 7 is gonna give us, we can't do it, it's gonna be then 15 minus 7, which will give us 8, and then 5 minus 5 will give us 0. So the difference from 65 to 57 is 8 units, or minus 8 units. Now, what is happening from a plus 15? So a is 65, but then they did a plus 15 gives us 57. Definitely 65 plus 15 will not give us 57. Instead, you cannot apply this rule here because it is a function and they are not related in the sense of a plus 15 is equal to 57 or a is equal to 65. No, we have to find out what is happening. So first, 65 to 57, there is a difference of 8, or there is minus 8. So from 65 to 57, we subtracted 8. Then from a plus 15 to a plus 45, we did a multiplication of 3. So 15 became 45 by multiplying by 3. So very simply, that means multiplying this number, minus 8, by 3. And we are then gonna get minus 24. That means we are taking the original number, which is 65, and we are subtracting from it 24. So 5 minus 4 is 1, and 6 minus 2 is 4. So our answer for this one is 41. I will explain it again in case it wasn't clear the first time. So from 65 to 57, we did minus 8. From a plus 15 to a plus 45, there was a multiplication of 3. So very simply, we multiply this by 3 to get minus 24. Then we take the original one, which is 65, and we subtract from it 24. So 5 minus 4 is 1, and 6 minus 2 is 4. So 41 is our answer. Question number 8. Here again, we need to memorize the table, okay? The table of trigonometric ratios. For this question over here, we are looking sine theta is equal to radical 3 over 2. So we know, based on memorizing of the trigonometric table, that sine 60 is equal to radical 3 over 2. Now something I did not mention last time is the table. Okay, this is the table. We do all students try cheating. Here all is positive, here only sine and cosecant is positive, here only tangent and cotangent is positive, and here only cosine and secant is positive. Let us label them. Because we are dealing with a positive number, we are gonna only be doing the counterclockwise rotation, okay? So it's gonna be 0, then 90, then 180, then 270, and then 360. Then doing the other rotation, we have 450, then 540, then 630, then 720. This is 2 full rotations. Now let us write the multiples of 60. We have 0, 60, 120, 180, 240, 300, 360. Then we have 420, 480, 540, and then finally 600. I'm gonna do until 10. Okay, we are talking about sign of a number, sign 60 in this case, and it is given us a positive value. So that means it's gonna be, okay, so that means it is only in this box. Let me just make the box bigger, over here. That means it's either between 0 and 180, excluding them, and it is between 360 and 540, excluding them. So definitely let us look at the answers with the excluded options. So 0 is excluded, 180 is excluded, 360 is excluded, and then also 540 is excluded. So we have possible answers being 60, 120, but then these are the only options that are between 0 and 180. So far, these 60 and 120 work. Whereas, over here, these do not work. Now, the next option is between 360 and 540, which is only 420 and 480. So that means our only answers are 60, 120, 420, and 480. Okay, now how do we find this? We just substitute pi by 180. So 180 divided by 3 is equal to 60. We are choosing this one. Then 7 times 180 divided by 3, that is 7 times 60, which is then 420. So I'm also going to choose this one. This is negative. It's going to give us a negative number, and we do not look for any negative numbers. Also, this one is negative. We're not going to choose it. Then this one is 2 times 180 divided by 3. So that is 2 times 60, which is 120. And it was one of our answers, so we are going to be taking it. So moving on to question number 9, we need to know which one is symmetric about the origin. Symmetric about the origin means it is odd. And if it is odd, what are we going to do? Is that we are going to substitute -1 and 1 in the x, okay? And if we are going to get opposite answers, that means this is odd. So I'm going to do the first one as an example. And then the rest, you guys can do it as practice. I will choose the rest because I know the answers. Okay, so for the first one, we have x to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 2 plus 1. If we're going to substitute 1, we are going to have 1 to the power of 3 divided by 1 to the power of 2 plus 1, which is 1 over 2. Then, if you are going to do -1, you are going to have -1 to the power of 3 divided by -1 to the power of 2 plus 1, which will then give us -1, and then divided by -1 squared, which will become 1, so 1 plus 1, which is 2. And as you see, they gave us opposing answers. So since they gave us opposite, they are the same number, which is 1 over 2 and 1 over 2, but one of them is negative, okay? That means this is an odd function. So this is how you are going to do it for the rest of them. I'm just going to choose which ones are odd. And so the first odd function is y is equal to x to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 2 plus 1. The second one is y is equal to x divided by x to the power of 2 plus 1. And then the final one is y is equal to 2x divided by x to the power of 2 plus 1. Alright, that's question number 9 done. We move on to question number 10. They are asking which is symmetric about the y-axis. They are asking for even. So when we are looking for even, we are going to substitute two same numbers but opposite signs, so -1 and 1. And if they give us the same answer, that means it is even. I will do the first one as an example, then I'm going to choose the ones that are even. The rest you can practice them. Okay, so for the first one, we are going to get -1 to the power of 2 divided by, divided by -1 to the power of 2 plus 1. This is going to give us 1 divided by 2, okay? However, if we substitute it, when we are going to get 1 squared divided by 1 squared plus 1, which also gives us 1 divided by 2. So since they are the same, that means it is even. So this is the first option. Now the second option is this one, and I think there are only 2 options for this one, if I'm not mistaken, which is only these 2 over here. Alright, so we move on to question number 11. Here they are asking us for the value of sine squared x. Okay, we know that 1 minus sine squared x is equal to cosine squared x, and 1 minus cosine squared x is equal to sine squared x. Alright, so we have cosine x, we just need to square it. Then we do 1 minus cosine squared x and we get sine squared x. So cosine squared x, we need to square this. It's then gonna become 144 divided by 169. So we're gonna do 1 minus 144 divided by 169, which is equal to our sine squared x, what we are looking for. Okay, so 1 is equal to 169 divided by 169. So we subtracted by 144 divided by 169, and we are gonna get, I think, 25 divided by 169. So this is our answer over here. Okay, this is if they asked for sine squared x. However, if they ask you for sine x, you just need to radical. It's gonna be then 5 over 13. Okay, so they're asking for sine squared x, so we are then gonna choose 25 over 169. Moving on to question number 12. Very simply, what we need to do over here is we need to change the secant x squared into tangent squared. We know secant squared x is equal to 1 plus tangent squared x, okay? So here, looking at it, it can be only one thing. It can either be all of it tangent, all of it cosine, all of it sine, or all of it secant. In this case, we have secant squared x and 22 tangent x. Now, which is easier to change, the 22 tangent x or the secant squared x? Definitely the secant squared x. So instead, we are going to substitute it by 1 plus tangent squared x is equal to, 1 plus tangent squared x minus 22 tangent x plus 20 is equal to 0. Okay, then we are going to bring this one, it's going to be added to the 20 because they are both constants. So then it becomes tan squared x minus 22 tan x plus 21 is equal to 0. Then again, we are going to solve it by the product sum method. So what gives us a product of 21 and a sum of minus 22? Definitely minus 21 times minus 1, and minus 21 minus 1 will give us a product of 21 and a sum of minus 22. Now, that means that our answer is x minus 21 times x minus 1. Now, we do not keep it like this. We make it equal to 0. So x minus 21 is equal to 0. And x minus 1 is equal to 0. And we are going to get then x is equal to 21 and x is equal to 1. They gave us already that tangent x is equal to 1. So that means the value of k is the other answer, which is then 21. Moving on to number 13. Alright, very simply, looking at the graph, it is what? It is a strong negative since it is going down. So the correlation in the scatter diagram is a strong negative. Now they want us to find the line of best fit. So let us find the line of best fit. So the equation for this is y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, to find m, we need to choose any 2 points. So I prefer to choose 12, 90, and 20, 60. So 12, 90, 20, 60. Then to find m, okay, it is the slope. It is equal to y minus y over x minus x. So it could be 60 minus 90 divided by 20 minus 12. And it's going to give us then 30 divided by 8 in simplest, minus 30 divided by 8, which in simplest form will give us minus 15 over 4. So y is equal to minus 15 over 4x plus b. We cannot keep it as a fraction, so we multiply the whole thing by 4. So 4y is equal to minus 15 x plus 4b. move minus 15x to the other side, you're going to get 15x is equal to 4y. Sorry, my bad, my apologies. 15x plus 4y is equal to 4b. Okay, then we choose any point. So for example, if we chose 2060, we are going to get 15 times 20 plus 4 times 60 is equal to 4b. So then this will give us 300 plus 240 is equal to 4b. That means 4b is equal to 540. So the final equation is 15x plus 4y is equal to 540. So 15x plus 4y is equal to 540. Now, based on the line of best fit, the expected score for a person who spends 12 hours watching TV, so we come here and we see 12 hours a week watching TV is gonna be a score of 90. So, 90. Now, fill in the blank with a letter, the model letter grade. What is the model letter grade? Very simply, we go up and we see which one has the most amount of points. It's between 80 and 90. So between 80 and 90, it is the letter B. So the model letter grade means the most occurring, or the one that has the most points, which is the model letter B. For question number 14, what we are gonna do is the first thing we are gonna first we're gonna read, so we'll not jump directly without reading like me. Given the curve C with the equation y is equal to x to the power of 3 plus 4x to the power of 2 plus 10, fill in the blanks. The equation of the tangent to the curve C at x is equal to 2 is y is equal to, very simply, to find the slope. The very first thing when finding the slope is to find the derivative. Okay, so let us find the derivative of this equation. We are gonna get, we're not gonna get y, sorry. We're gonna get the slope by finding the derivative of this equation. So very simply, the derivative of this equation is 3x to the power of 2 plus 8x plus 0. So in other terms, it's 3x to the power of 2 plus 8x. Okay? Now very simply, we substitute the x by 2. So 3 times 2 to the power of 2 plus 8 times 2. So 3 times 4 plus 16. That is then 12 plus 16, which will give us an answer of 28. So we found the slope, which is 28, and we put it next to x. Now here is the really, really nice part. Okay, we need to find this answer over here. Very simply, we know that x is 2, so we can find the value of y and we can substitute. So, if x is 2, we will substitute it over here. We are going to get y is equal to 2 to the power of 3, which is 8, plus 4 times 2 to the power of 2, which is 16, plus 10. So in total, that is 34. So y is equal to 34. So we know y is equal to 28x minus blank, and y is equal to 34. So now 34 is equal to 28x minus z. Let us say this is z, okay? But how do we find it if we have two unknowns? Actually, we don't have two unknowns. We just need to substitute the 2 over here. So 34 is equal to 28 times x, or 28 times 2, which is 56. So 34 is equal to 56 minus z. Okay, so bring 56 to the other side. Minus 22 is equal to minus z. Then we get that the answer of z is equal to 22. So very simply, this over here is 22. Moving on to question number 15. If we are talking symmetric about the origin, that means it is odd. And if it is odd, both x and y change. So that means minus 6 will change to 6 and minus 8 will change to 8. Number 16. Okay, this is nice. We are talking about the vertical asymptote. Whenever we are talking about the vertical asymptote, we need to solve this equation over here. So remember, vertical asymptote, we are solving the denominator. So for x minus 40 is equal to 0. For x is equal to 40, x is equal to 10. So the value of x is 10. Moving on to question number 17. We have the horizontal asymptote. Whenever they are asking us for the horizontal asymptote, we are gonna solve this over here. Okay? So let me give you an example. Y is equal to ax plus b over cx plus d. When they are asking for the horizontal asymptote, it is ax divided by cx. This is a c, not a bracket. when they're asking for a vertical asymptote, it is cx plus d is equal to 0. When they are asking for the y-intercept, it is b over d. And when they are asking for the x-intercept, it is ax plus b is equal to 0. And if you remember these rules, you will be able to solve any question that comes like this. So very simply, the horizontal asymptote, we said it is 8x divided by 2x, which is 4. Vertical asymptote is 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. So 2x is equal to 4. So x is then equal to 2. That means the vertical asymptote is 2. The y-intercept, we said y-intercept is this. So 120 divided by minus 4 is minus 30. This is our y-intercept. Now finally, when they say it crosses at the x-axis, that means this is the x-intercept. We said that means 8x plus 120 is equal to 0. So 8x is equal to minus 120. So x is equal to minus 15. So our answer over here is minus 15. Moving on to question number 18. They're telling us symmetric about the y-axis. That means it is even. If it is even, only x is gonna change. So the x is gonna change into 6. So minus 6 becomes 6. Whereas the minus 8 will stay minus 8. So 6 and minus 8. Moving on to question number 19. This is also a nice question. They asked us, what is the positive root of fx equal to 0 and the negative root of this? At first, you will look at this, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is so hard. How do I solve this? Very simply, look. They're asking us if x is equal to 0. So that means y is equal to 0. So they are asking for the x-intercept or the x-axis or when y is 0, which is this point over here. Now, I'm going to zoom in, okay? And then I'm going to draw the line again. And we are going to choose the points that are on this line. The points that are touching this line. So we have one clear one over here, which is minus 3, and one clear one over here, which is 4. So the positive one is 4, and the negative one is minus 3. Okay, so the positive root is 4, and the negative root is minus 3. Moving on to question number 20. Here we have something similar, but instead of fx being equal to 0, they said fx is equal to 100. So very simply, we go to when the y is equal to 100. Okay, now we have to choose the points that are touching this line. We have this point over here, which is minus 3, this point over here, which is minus 1, and this point over here, I did not go on the line because I didn't draw the line well, which is 7. So we have 7, minus 1, minus 3. So minus 3, minus 1, and 7. These are the roots. They need the smallest root, which is minus 3, the middle root, which is minus 1, and the largest root, which is then 7. Moving on to question 21. So I checked this with my teacher, and he said it is incorrect. It's a wrong question. So I don't know if it's wrong or not because they included it twice. Okay, but they repeated it twice, so I don't know if it's a mistake or not. But my teacher said it's a mistake, so definitely it is then a mistake. So to 2 decimal places, what is the value of this? Okay, I remember someone asked me a question and then I responded because they're asking for x. That's probably what they are looking for. Or and like cosine squared x is what they're looking for. I'm not sure because all of this question is wrong, by the way. Alright, so you can either skip this question if you want, or you can stay to see how I solved it. I think they probably want cosine squared x. So if they want cosine squared x, we know that 1 minus sine squared x is equal to cosine squared x. Okay, so that becomes 1 minus, we have to square this. It will then become 17 over 100. It will then be equal to 100 over 100 minus 17 over 100. So then it will become 83 over 100. So this over here is cosine squared x. But personally, I don't understand how I did it in the last video, to be honest. I believe I said, okay, maybe it's not between 180 and 90. This is definitely a question that needs calculators, by the way. Okay, so basically 83 divided by 100 is 0.83. And then just add the minus. I don't know why they needed the minus, so it becomes minus 0.83. So this question is wrong, by the way. So I'm gonna say wrong. Do not focus on it Okay. Number 22. This again is a really nice question. So remember we said it can be either all sine or all cosine or all tangent or all secant. Here we have 1 plus sine x is equal to minus cosine squared x. Move it to the other side, we're gonna get cosine squared x plus sine x is plus 1 is equal to 0. Now what we are going to do is we are going to change the cosine squared x into sine squared x. So cosine squared x, okay, is equal to 1 minus sine squared x. So very simply, we need to substitute the cosine squared x by 1 minus sine squared x. So 1 minus sine squared x is equal to, sorry, my bad, my apologies. It's 1 minus sine squared x plus sine x plus 1 is equal to 0. So then you bring this one over here, you will add it, and then it becomes minus sine squared x, okay, plus sine x plus 2. Now, personally, I do not like to see anything other than 1 in front of the sign. So I will multiply it all by minus 1 because it's equal to 0. We can multiply it by minus 1. So then it becomes sine squared x minus sine x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now what gives us a product of minus 2 and a sum of minus 1? Very simply, it could be minus 2 times 1 and minus 2 plus 1. So that means our answer is x minus 2, x plus 1. Okay, we need to solve them equal to 0. So each one is equal to 0. That gives us x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 1. They already gave us x is equal to minus 1. Then what about this one? It is definitely then the other option, which is 2. Over here, it is the same way. Again, it is 1 minus cosine squared x is equal to sine squared x. And then sine squared x, 1 minus sine squared x is equal to cosine squared x. Okay, so we have cosine squared x that we need to find, and we are given sine x. First of all, we square it to get sine squared x. So then it becomes sine squared x is equal to 9 over 25. So to find cosine squared x, it becomes 1 minus 9 over 25, which is then 25 over 25 minus 9 over 25, which then gives us an answer of 16 divided by 25. Moving on to question number 24. I believe we've done something like this, no? I think it was question 14 or 15. Let me just check, because I remember doing something like this. Yeah, we did it over here. We are given cosine x is 12 over 13. We need to find the value of sine squared x. And then here, this is the same exact thing. So I'm going to repeat again what we did. So we know that sine squared x is equal to 1 minus cosine squared x, okay? We have cosine x, we just need to square it. It becomes 144 over 169. So sine squared x that we need to find, it's equal to 1 minus 144 over 169, which is equal to 169 over 169 minus 144 over 169. And that's going to give us 25 over 169. So very simply, the value of k is 25. Moving on to question number 25. Here we know that secant squared is equal, or secant squared x is equal to 1 plus tangent squared x, okay? We are given tangent x, so we just need to square it, and that is going to give us 49 over 25, okay? So secant squared x is equal to 1 plus tangent squared x, which is 49 over 25. So 25 over 25 plus 49 over 25 will then give us 74 over 25. So the value of k in this case is 74. Number 26. Here, this is a nice question again. We are given sine squared x. We just need to find 160 times cosine squared x. So cosine squared x is equal to 1 minus sine squared x. So it's equal to 1 minus 3 over 8, which is then 5 over 8. So that means 160 times 5 divided by 8. 160 divided by 8 will give us 20 over here and 1 over here. So that's 20 times 5 divided by 1, which is then 100. So our answer over here is 100. Moving on to question number 27. They told us, based on the line of best fit, what exam score is expected for a student who studies for 7 hours? Now remember, this is skipped by 8, so 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 32, then it is 40, 48, then 56, 64, then after that it's 72, then 80, then 88. They told us at 7 hours, he's expected to score an 88. So very simply, our answer over here is 88. Let us submit and hopefully there are no mistakes. Alhamdulillah, thank God there are no mistakes. Thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful day. And have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.